one thing I'm hyped about around the TI time is because there's gonna be some stuff that we didn't see before, and we're gonna go,
It's radiant.
how did I not think?
Like some hero that's suddenly really good, or the meta is. It's funny because like every year I think we'll like see the groups or see a few team favorites. I think quite goes the last year that everyone thought was stronger. It was actually the weaker group that had like every
5 seconds.
fight coming when it's a bit more pressure when you're playing for 32, 33 million.
A little bit of pressure added.
It's Dire's turn to pick.
Timber Saw!
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good answer for a Bristleback, and they don't have a counter for.
And that, similar to like TNC, they have catch out of their mid lane. The Ember gives you some catch until stuff come online, so
Yeah, but they're really limited with their last pick. They need to have a good hero against Timber, Lifestealer, and Ember. They don't have enough control for Ember Spirit. I don't think X-Mark is that good because he dodged it with the
5 seconds.
Slight, and there's really no follow-up besides the arrow.
at least Kunkka is one of those catches that's good for Timbersaw. If you've got damage to follow it up, like you X him, he can't just chain himself away. You've got to be able to kill him now during that period.
You also need a Spirit Vessel. Great against Timbersaw, so I'm wondering if Kunkka want to work towards that, to be a core Kunkka. Kunkka is the hero that you can buy pretty much any item on him in the mid lane, but if Mirana is going to be played as position 4, should be the one buying it.
Well, as Ursa banned, that would have been such a good pick against both Lifestealer and now the Timbersaw. TNC,
they're running out of time.
They need a Timbersaw answer. It's going to be Arc.
Choose your hero.
Maybe not an answer per se, but it gives them a way to try play and win this game, which is go late game. Like, let's just take it as late as we can with this Arc Warden. What do you make of this here? I don't feel like either of us were expecting a Gabby Arc Warden to come out.
I feel like they just wanted to have a better late. Try to stall it, wait for... Usually you don't pick Bristleback with another hero who go super. Bristleback is scary, especially, let's say, from 15-minute mark to 35 to 40, and then he kind of falls.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see how it works out, because yeah, you've got the super late game of the Arc Warden, the more early mid game of Bristol. I mean, theoretically, it's like, okay, we have a hero that can do well in the early mid game and a hero in the late game, but in Dota, normally you want heroes that get strong at the same time.
Yeah, but you also have, like, 3 great heroes come inside Arc Warden's bubble. Timbersaw does not really care about him. He wants to go in, he wants to be focused. He's gonna be the one creating the chaos. Also, Lifestealer can infest him, so it's really easy to close the gap and kill the Arc Warden.
This is not where you would normally typically expect to see an Arc Warden. You'd think, oh, you're playing against range carries like, TB in the past with Metamorph. Arc Warden was like one of the counters terribly. But against these melee heroes, that 2 of which have gap closes, and so Timber just doesn't care anyways. I guess it's more about the ability to delay the game and stall with like split push and clone to just shove out lanes and be annoying.
Arc Warden became popular when Trial Ranger was also being picked a lot, so he was considered a counter to Ranger lineups.
Alright, we'll hop ourselves in at our first game here on TNC versus Gaming. You've got player names on your... I don't know what's happening, but I have player names. We've got their in-game names. We'll make things a little...
Yeah, I can just watch my screen to know who's who. So it's gonna be so it's gonna be position 4 Mirana, Sobi Mask, 6 Tangos, and the Sentry Ward will buy Ring of Protection. I see a lot of position 4s, even offlaners doing that kind of a build, especially on Enchantress, which I think is going to be picked a lot. 4 branches, Sobi Mask, and a set of Tangos. Well, I love that screenshot you just took.
It's like TI style, guys. It's like the selfie, It's like, all right, that one's going straight on the social media. I was activating the little camera control. Also, now I've got to say that. Here we go. So early ward planted down. It was the Kunkka or Mel who kind of scouted out that little smoke gank. does look like Tnc for the most part not really looking to contest. You've got most of their heroes. Kunkka was hiding in the trees, Arc Warden's hiding, and Radiant with a super deep. Crazy. Well,
Time to
with a
raise
ward way up
bloody
here.
hell.
The one on the top. I mean, it
Yeah.
scouts the lanes, but I'm not sure what they're doing with that ward actually.
I guess they really maybe want a certain laning setup, like so they the lane matchup they hope for. He is running from top down to bottom. Courier is running by mid, and it's going to be Courier snipe. Oh no, I think he mistimed it. Tango can he get the second right click. Yes, he's got
There it is.
Courier
He's gonna
snipe
get it.
to start TI.
Just following
And the
orders.
pause. TNC say hello. What's up? Checking my settings. Yeah. Sorry, settings, guys. I bet the Grimstroke was like, don't pause yet, I'm going to kill the courier first, then we pause. Not
For
to
a
be...
moment, I thought that he's not gonna make it.
He was like, it looked like he went, he did go a little late, but he managed to just... And who, the Grimstroke is what, Cuckoo?
Yeah.
We got some audio.
Well, here we
We'll
go.
fight
Let's
through
hope
that
that doesn't
one.
happen again.
Looks like, okay, now we go. The audio goes, we're good, we're back. Mid lane, let's see what we got. Ember versus Kunkka. I feel like I've seen this matchup quite a bit. And then where Kunkka usually back at top, it's going to be a tri-lane aggressively from King Gaming. They want to go in nice and early on this Arc Warden, who's taking a lot of damage with the Cold Feet proc, but quite got necessary damage output to get the
They wish it was an old AA with his chili fingers. Now it's only a single target ability. And this, I mean, you are playing with the Timbersaw in your team. You want to give him a solo XP on the side lane. Bristleback is tanking the bottom creeps, but
doing
the
a lot of damage.
top lane,
Yeah, forces TP out. This lane kind of gets a lot harder because they got level 1 telekinesis. Like, they kind of go for that kill to set up the Cold Feet, but not having Fate Bolt in a tri-lane versus tri-lane for that damage mitigation, quite a big deal, I feel.
once they get the level 2, it's going to be so much easier for them to play the lane.
Boys, Bristol battling it out down here. I guess this is a lane where
Radiant's
Bristol just
bottom
wants to
tower
kind
is
of
under attack.
avoid the Timber. That's why he's cutting waves from behind.
Now, he can't really pressure the Timber in the laning stage, so he's just getting as much as he can, trying to drag the creep wave to the neutrals. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, Ember Spirit already forced back.
It doesn't have a courier, which
Yeah.
is such a big deal in the mid lane. I'm sure Kunkka saw that and is just like, I'm going to play even more aggressive. Gets a bottle, wow. It's not your everyday courier adventure. A ground courier going to the secret shop, now down bottom. I'd rather have to go mid. It makes sense, actually. The mid lane gets his items, and then your offlaner who wants its bottle to just keep on spamming quills is happy as well. Top Mirana.
There's the arrow.
Yeah, leaps in, hits the arrow, and there should be a kill with the spark ring.
5 stacks.
Tried to leave it for the Arc Warden, I think. Oh, he's gonna live. He's gonna get.
He's
the
gonna
snipe.
deny himself.
Oh,
No, he gets it.
hopeful. That's Tim's.
First
Leaps
blood.
in. Baits out
was
Roshan to
ours all
himself,
along.
but they kind of didn't expect those stick shots.
You don't have the
Well,
sign.
you gotta expect that. He was just stacking the Roche.
He had to use all 3 leaps, which quite a bit of time to recharge.
Yeah, but it got buffed, so it's not 60 seconds anymore. Now it's 45. He also has the bottle for himself and the Ring of Bassi, so a lot of mana regen.
X creation. It is 1X. Let's make a kill up top to Gabby.
Radiant
Mid
are
lane,
standing
extra
firm.
to Torrent, and then land the arrow. There's a lot of creeps here, and as a result, I don't think he can actually get this kill. King Gaming, Dash leaping on it, hits him melee range arrow, doesn't do a whole lot of damage with the flame guard. One more right click with the tower shots, and Tims gets another kill. Nicely done with the Mirana. Kills already. 4 position Mirana's back.
Oh, he gave bottle to Kunkka. Now he's gonna X mark himself, use the bottle, refill it.
This is just Kunkka's bottle now, or just Mirana again?
She should get it back now. Mirana is stacking some creeps. Give me back my bottle, please.
Maybe Kunkka's just like, well, look, you want me to win my lane? Give me a bottle. That's how you win mid lane. Free bottle.
Have you ever done that?
I
Buy a
have
bottle
done
for
that.
someone?
Oh, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I love playing like the super
I feel
hard
like you're
support.
lying right now,
No,
Gods.
I'm not. I'm a 6th position player at heart, you know? If I can, I used to be like, you get random gold, and I would random a support, I would buy my mid a bottle at level 1 pass. And they're just like, wow, I just won my mid lane.
I am. If you drop your bottle, I'm gonna steal it.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Now I know if I ever lend you my bottle to refill, it's not coming back. Good start for TNC. 5-minute bounty runes coming up, so we'll see if either team can set for those. Bristle down bottom definitely wants to refill his bottle with those. It's going to be the Grimstroke getting initiated on the lift. This is why they got that early point in lift, although now we're a bit 3, of course. They'll get the kill. And Ember, solo kill.
It was just solo kill from Kanka, and he was not even level 6.
Straight to the bottom with you.
Okay.
He's being harassed a lot. Level 3 Tidebringer. Ember needs to go jungle.
Looks like it was
Dire are scanning friends.
bounty runes for TNC off the 4. Dire will scan on here. It's a rotate top from Grimstroke. We're going to come in from behind. They want to get some kills here. Probably just for this AA, perhaps? No, he's just trying to get a ward down. Mirana's going to arrow the siege. But gets down the high ground ward, which is why he scanned, just to get this one. This is such a nice ward to have. They are going to go in on Gabby on the arc ward, and he's trying to bring him down. He just wants to take the Mirana with him. It's going to be Tim chasing on after. As he got the leap charges, he leaps forward again. He's looking for one last right click. He's not going to get the kill. Instead, it's going to be arc one going down. And he used up 2 of his 3 leap charges and did not kill off Tuition there.
Lively now.
One
Your
thing
admiral
I'm
is on
worried
board.
about is
Do
they don't have any kind of
Radiant
save
bombs their middle
inside of
tower?
TNC. So once
of invisibility.
either Lifestealer goes in, a Timber, so we didn't talk about the Timber at all. Like, he's just sitting on the bottom lane,
Yeah.
20
Radiant's middle
magic
tower
one
is under
charges, 3 points in reactive armor. Feels like he's unkillable at the moment, unless Kanka decides to rotate. He is still
T9.
vulnerable
Good
to
timing.
magical damage at this point.
Yeah, magical damage has a decent amount here for the Kunkka, but Kunkka just drops the ghost ship. He's going to be A-okay. Mirana rotates in as well, and if anything, that looked like Kunkka was maybe going to turn around and get some kills there. And level 6 now.
And during the draft, I talked about the Spirit Vessel Carrier. I'm glad that Kanka is buying one. At least he has one queued up. So double Bracer is going to become so tanky with this guy.
Farming some jungle now that he's being kind of scared out of the lane, at least. Efficient play there, using the Tidebringer to hit multiple camp. Lifestealer, level 4. This is the problem with these aggressive trial-ins. He's 3-0. He's farming okay. He hasn't got amazing CS, just the 32, but 13 to 9. Levels
Dire's bottom tower is under
If
attack.
he's under-leveled, I would not be surprised if he is the one that buys Dome for him.
buys it for himself.
No, someone else
Please.
buys it. Sorry.
Gus, Channel agrees. He's going to keep getting some kills up here. The Bristleback TP rotation, Lifesteal, yeah, he's going to have to rage TP, which is...
It's that
okay,
easy.
yeah.
Just TP out.
Bristle rotating in, so...
What do you feel about the raid bans against the null talismans against
Radiant's getting
Racer?
friendly with Dire's
Like,
bottom
which
tower.
one is the best?
Magic
Same.
resistance, health and magic resistance, it's like the dream. Dual bracer every hero. But this top lane looking a bit dicey as Bristleback going diving on in. He's going to play around the Timbersaw though, and he has not got a TP, so we'll see what Cuckoo can do here. As it does look like he is going to be punished behind the enemy tower.
Hilarious.
Timbersaw down. That's all.
Yeah, that was extremely greedy. Dying, even if he got the kill on AA, it's still not worth it.
Quite paying off as he'd hoped for.
Swifter than ever.
Grimstroke to support taking over. Looks like Kunkka's just going to spend some time in the jungle, as is Arc Warden. Arc Warden doesn't really have a good place to go right now. Rebecca will get picked off and down the bottom lane. Kunkka rotation.
Kanka realizes his role. He needs to create space for Arc Warden at this moment. He needs to be active. He's on top of a CS chart, 71, and 13. Has that urn flying to him. Every single time the boat is up, I would not be surprised. Arc Warden really not having a good... 18 CS on him.
BO2 is one of those low cooldowns, so we could see a very active Kunkka here. Now it's going to be playing around this bottom lane, but the Lifestealer, not really the ideal hero to make plays on. They look for an arrow. Expect to have that initiation work too well for them. Come on in and start harassing with that Tiebreaker. Kind of probably knows he can't initiate here. Some good damage with this Tidebringer though, as really want to pressure this tower, but Lifestealer, I think he knows he's got TP support if they overcommit on him.
He also has Infest, and even if they land an arrow from this
Dire's
short
top
distance,
tower
he
is about to fall.
1 point in Rage is more than enough. Infest 4 Magic Horn charges. They should try to play maybe
Dire's
on
top
mid
tower
or
has some
top.
radiant
Lifestealer
shape.
is tough kill to get.
I think he kind of came down here because Lifestealer was playing top lane, but now Lifestealer's kind of just going to wherever the Kunkka is.
And this is the build I love to see on Timber. So double Bracer, Soul Ring, Magic Wand. Look at his HPs. 1600 HP.
And magic resistance, 37% stuff. And this Yule Scepter is going to kind of take away one of the key ways they kill him, which is that X initiation. Kind of defensively Yule's to typically dodge some of those spells. Kind of turns into this big mind game.
First Moonlight Shadow used.
They were using it. They dove in looking for a bit of a kill there. Life still got low, but they used the Moonlight Shadow just to get out. Back at mid. Got in looking for the outer one kill. They're going to get it. It's going to be King Gaming mid player getting X and pull back. He did have the rem. He didn't get to the high ground, though. He's still the low ground here. They're slowing down the Bristle. He's trying to chase with the Tidebringer damage. He's getting pretty low there. Instead, they're going to go for the AA, the DD on the Bristle back.
300 damage on Bristle. That should be a tier 1 tower for sure.
Do Radiant want their middle
would
tower?
expect so with the double damage wearing off, but they've still got a siege creep. So nice timing around this rotation. So they can get a tier 1 tower. And a tier 1 mid, one of the more important tier 1.
Radiant's middle tower
Will go the way of Cuckoo on the Bristleback.
And Timbersaw already saw what
Dire's
Kunkka
bottom
is
tower is
going
under
for,
attack.
so he's building that Yule Scepter, which you mentioned. It's a Dispel, and also they kind of lack abilities to stop the TPs.
A scan
I mean,
from
right now,
Radiant.
what's the game plan for TNC?
Look at
Is
Dire's
it just
bottom tower
delay for
next.
late game with Arc Warden? Or are they actually trying to fight with their other 4
They can
heroes?
fight with the other 4 people.
Dire's
Every single time the
bottom
boat is
tower
up,
is falling.
Bristleback doesn't have a big item yet. Has Vanguard
Dire's
queued up,
top tower has some radiant shape.
farming the jungle at the moment.
9. It's the same level as Ember. Crazy, actually. Just having a good time. He's basically a core hero at this point.
If he wants to transition into core, he can still buy a Maelstrom, even though from position 4 you expect him to go something like an Urn. A mech is good. You can also buy a Force Staff, which should be great of value here.
Top, they're looking for Mirana. Ice Blast coming in as well. They get the vision, another leap out. He'll just go for a TP. Telekinesis, not there. A little bit too far. It's an Arc Warden clone. That's gold though. Can they kill it before it expires? Yep. Easy gold.
Dire's top tower
Okay,
is under attack.
looks like Kunkka found the AA. One of the easier kills for him to get. He's completed his Spirit Vessel. Another reason why Timbersaw is rushing that Yule Scepter. And already has
Dire's
it
top
in
tower
fact,
has
so
fallen.
way to dispel off the Spirit Vessel charges.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
He might even need second Dispel.
Yeah, I mean, often you see Timbers get 2 or 3.
Yeah, either Lotus Orb, or he can go for Guardian Creep.
X. Nice Yule Scepter. Dodges it so he doesn't get hit by that long arrow and it's swing around instead. Force to leap away.
Your admiral.
Coming, flying on in. It's going to hit a couple. Not getting them all too low here as Ember gets X'd up again, but I don't think there's too much fall off from TNC who leave the dash alone.
Just pop the smoke.
Head
If they
top.
can get Arc Warden once again before he gets his Midas, they're pinging it out. He has no boots. Is he gonna
Dire's
stay?
top
Oh, Sentry Ward
If you're
is
looking
ready
for
on
Radiant
Kunkka if he
bottom
wants to
tower.
place it. He's dropping it.
Jump, they're gonna go for this kill. They really want it. They should have it. Yeah, he's just gonna turn and fight. He wants him down the room. He's getting killed by the Midas.
Oh.
Did.
Haha.
Ooh, what
He
a
actually
player.
got the kill before and bought the Midas.
Yes. That's huge for him. That kind of salvages that situation for him. And they're going to go back with the X into the arrow, hits the Timber Sword, didn't use this one off. And now the Starstorm follow up. It should be enough damage. And yeah, they've got the kill with the Mirana. Really nicely done by TNC, punishing that dive up top.
If someone TP's bottom, they might actually get a kill on Ember Spirit here.
Gets the silence to leave things off. He's going to start to follow up. Can the Ember get out of this one? He's been stunned before he can get rid of the silence. And it looks like Tim's with the follow-up. Is it going to be enough? He didn't have quite the necessary damage. He's not going to go leaping on afterwards as Ember double remnants away. Very close. And they're still hunting. Hits him with a stroke of fate. Remnant away. He's
out of remnants.
got no TP. It's on cooldown for 15 seconds. He's going to look for another stroke of fate soon.
Arrow. One more leap.
Are they going for this? A leap into a Starstorm? No.
Tower is under attack.
Decide to let Ember go. I think a little bit afraid because of the shrine. You could TP on in as well as, of course, heal yourself back up.
I think it was a risky play to go with another leap. It would still be good.
Mirana Tim's in a lot of trouble here. No more leaps left and we'll get punished for this one. You'll set them making sure they got the bounty rune as well. Timber's going to get both those bounty runes bottom while his team will get top. So 3 out of 4 bounty runes going gaming. Very even game here at 15 minutes. X-Boat. There's boat stolen by the rocket. He's going to turn it around. That's going to mitigate some of this damage coming on in. Bristle, though, with that Tidebringer, is going to get the kill. And now Bristle's found a new target. It's the AA. The right click damage. One more right click. It's there. It's just enough. As Bristle now in all sorts of trouble. He's overcommitted. He's dying to the Timber Saw. That pure damage coming on in from the Chakram. Bristle will pay for an arrow. And they got the damage of that Soulmax. Yeah, they should be able to do this one. The sector is there. There should be another vessel. No, he's out of charges. Can they even kill him here? Moving out Mel. Someone's all sorts of trouble. He X him back in. Is there going to be another Starstorm? Couple of seconds. He gets the kill on the Timber Saw. Wants the Ember as well. And they'll get both. Really nicely done. The Arc Warden rotating in as well to get a kill. Mel has his Midas up and is a very happy camper.
There was no ALT, there was no Rubik because he died before that fight. TNC playing extremely well at this point, giving Arc Warden chance to come back into the game. He got his hand on Midas. This is the most important item on the hero, even though he didn't get it at the good timing. It was, what, 14-15 minutes?
Yeah. But
still, they're playing so well with the other 4 heroes.
An axe build on the Mirana, it looks like now. The right click transition, but is transitioning into a different kind of core. More one that maybe like pushes out lanes a bit.
Jax thinks Radiant's bottom tower
A
is
lot of
about
farm
to
tap
fall.
on your 4 position.
So he's wrong.
I don't say that in a bad way.
Yeah, Mirana with Ags, it was kind of a beamy build. At one point it was a bit OP, and then we twisted the numbers. It was way too long of a cooldown. Now it went down from 9 to 8 seconds, so it's pretty viable.
A lot of heroes rotating down bottom. It's going to be a
Scanning
TNC scan right on top of this smoke rotation. Bristol still may get caught here. Damage in the Timber Saw. They are going to lose Cuckoo. Boat comes flying in, but damage has been done. Timber Saw.
Step lively
Yule
now.
Scepter is
Your
kind of
admiral
chasing for more. The Yules comes back up now. Find anything else? Doesn't look like it. Just the 1 kill for that smoke rotation. TNC will be too annoyed by that, but that's still a 3rd death on Cuckoo's Bristle. Not easy playing into the...
I feel like both of these teams have good counters, but enemy. Like you playing Timber Saw into Spirit Vessel, then you have AA against Bristle, a lot of gap closers against Arc Warden.
Coming in, Kunka. Yeah, to start things off. Torrent doesn't time it and gets the remnant away.
Once Kunka gets a
Step lively now.
BKB, he's not
Your
dying.
admiral
They
is on
have
board.
no damage whatsoever. They also can't lock him down, not enough stuns. The timing that Keen Gaming is looking for is the Radiance.
Yeah, not too far away. Oh, nice arrow. Oh my god, they got the combo with the Grimstroke, banging them 2 together. The life steal going to get thrown up in the air as well. He couldn't get the range off. And now the stolen boat coming on in, but it's too little, too late. The X-Back is going to pull the Rubik back in for a 3rd and a 4th easy kill. That's a big set.
And that's a big turnaround from TNC. Another great arrow from Tims to set things up. Also, they need this to take a fight. I was surprised that they decided to go for
Look at Dire's bottom tower, Jax.
tier 1 tower or try to take a fight because Lifestealer did not have a radiance there. They didn't even have relic.
Oh my. Timbersaw was still down bottom and is going to find a free solo kill here potentially. Doesn't quite get the damage out what he was looking for. He's going to get stunned and silenced up. Still chasing, wants his Arc 1 and will get the kill there.
The Radiant want their middle
Playing
tower.
in the enemy base here and will be out under the tier 3 tower.
That was a huge for TNC. And the BKB is finished on Kanka to use the courier. There's no way he's dying. Also Bristleback tanking up, doing a finish good. Another arrow.
This combo, this combo. You can see why they
Tough
first
boss,
two
I'm
pick
with
it.
ya. Ha! Lowered the
TNC
boom.
showing they've got plenty of practice and experience using the two heroes. Timbersaw wants to run in and set something up. They've lost Emperor though, so this is a bit of a bold play. Even though Arc Warden's dead, one, Gabby's respawning soon, and two, it's an Arc Warden. It's not a hero that's looking to fight.
Ooh, bounty.
They desperately need this Radiance on a Lifestealer.
Oh,
even
for
though
my
it's not the
chest.
greatest timing, he still needs to buy full recipe, 1300 gold.
How much is it really going to do? It doesn't feel like it's the item that necessarily changes the game, even though it is their time.
And two cores on the side of TNC are not going to care about that Radiance. That's a Bristol with almost full pipe and Kanka with the BKB. Radiance is not going to do that much. I feel like they missed their timings.
Do you think he should have maybe gone for that rifle build instead, with how this game's been going for the Lifestealer?
It could have been an option. Like if you go for Armlet Deso build, it's great against Kanka, it's great against Bristle.
shot.
Top. That has the Ag Scepter, so
Radiant's
instantly
bottom tower
clear
is
and push
falling.
out waves. Now Blink Dagger queued up. This is like the old school kind of mid Mirana build, even the 4 position. Go this Ags Blink build and just double Starstorm out of wave, blink away if you get ganked. Very, very annoying build to play against.
Especially for the support. They don't have any escape mechanism, AA and Rubik.
Jax
Pretty much
thinks
solo
Radiant's
kill
bottom
them.
tower is about to fall. He's wrong.
There's now a Lotus Orb on Timbersaw, so he gets that second means of dispel. Important things that he needs
Radiant's
to get
bottom
rid of
tower
this
is under
game.
attack.
Things are not looking all too good for Keen Gaming. We talked about TNC, they kind of just want to go late game anyways with Arc Warden, and they're ahead and they're going into the late game right now. We're only 22 minutes in, but by the time his Radiance comes up, it feels like Keen Gaming will be a little bit behind where they want to be.
Corden doesn't even have boots.
They're not your everyday build you'd expect to see. Going for the Mjolnir first, you know?
If TNC gets another pick-off or 2 hero pick-off, they can easily turn that. Have Bristleback with 3 points in goo, more than enough.
Scanning
Double scan.
friends.
One is gonna connect, the dire one.
They may to go and gank this top lane. Shows up, but it's not lined with any cash, and I imagine Rubik will not be sticking around too long. TP's out. They're back in enemy jungle. They Moonlight Shadowed in. They're going to catch the Rubik here. Oh, he didn't actually get the X arrow because Kunkka was lifted up in the air, and they could see a way to kill the Rubik. Maybe not. The damage is not quite there initially. Kunkka's still diving for it, but he's being punished. Has the BKB. He needs to hold this one defensively. Soul Bind 2 together here with the double silence.
Just run.
Yeah, I think TNC realized this is not the fight they want to take, and ooh, couldn't get the Yule Scepter off in time. TP out. Save Grimstroke, so. Nice lift from Rubik, because the arrow, he couldn't pull the X back when he's lifted up in the air there, so it kind of saves his life with that little.
King Gaming wanted to take that fight because Radiance was just delivered to Lifestealer. I have a feeling that TNC wants to fight right now. Arc Warden has level 15. Mjolnir is ready. Also, we didn't talk about Mirana's talents. She went for HP on level 10 and arrow cooldown, so it's a 10-second cooldown. If somehow this game drags, you're gonna pick up Spell M talent on 20 and multi-shot arrows. That talent is so good.
A 10-second arrow cooldown is so nice when you're playing this aggressive and a long 5-second arrow mid followed up by a boat. They haven't quite got the damage to kill him off though. They're in all sorts of trouble. They'll take the fall of the cold feet. They lose Mirana. The X-Back is going to pull in the Timber Saw. They bring him down. Rage wearing off. Can they catch up to this lifesteal? Looks like they're going to change direction and instead go for the supporting cast. The Rubik going to be X as well. Stolen arrow coming into play, but it doesn't matter too much as they will bring down
What are you on about?
Rubik as well.
The question is, do they want to go for Roche right now? They don't have Mirana. She has a buyback though.
Dire structures
Maybe
are
if Kanka had a BKB, they would have gone for Roche. There's still tier 1 tower on the top, so they're just gonna go
and over
and
here,
play it safe.
Radiant's top tower.
Thanks to you.
It's been one of the big changes for TNC is that as a team they're so much more disciplined than they used. I think people talked about how like the last 4 or 5 months they've looked a whole lot stronger, and a big part of that is the fact they're just playing things safer. We'll see here the replay of this fight. It started off okay for Keen Gaming as the Mirana got caught, but it's a support kill, whereas they lose their Timber Saw. The fact is, you kind of have to treat this Mirana like a core, but you know, there's too many cores on TNC side to deal with.
Tower full?
This Timber Saw, even with the Lotus Orb and the Yule Scepter, it's not enough for him to survive. He doesn't have any magic resist. No Holy Locket, no Hood, so he does still shred through. Also against Mjolnir, maybe that could have been a pickup.
Gaming's next. They really got much going for them if they just keep farming more for the late game. Are they gonna hit any big scary items, you think?
Outside of Keen?
Yeah.
Well, Lifestealer still has like 4 slots left. Ember Spirit is also struggling with his farm.
Is it items that'll change this game though, do you? Or is TNC's draft just scary late game?
When you're playing against the Arc Warden, it always feels like the enemy. When you have Arc Warden on your team, you don't. Better
Is
late
Dire
game.
going to let that middle tower full?
See if they've got the answer. It was definitely put their abilities to test here. Playing down 10k gold into an Arc Warden late game. Not impossible, but definitely difficult. We did talk about though, you know, they've got 3 heroes. They don't really care about the Arc Warden bubble, so they've got ways to actually get on top of Arc Warden and kill them, which is perhaps what they've got going for them. Normally you see Arc Warden picked in these games where if you get late game, you just instantly win. This feels like one of those games where, you know, they can actually still deal with it. Back by the Ice Blast, but with the Hood damage, he's blocking a lot of this damage. All the mitigation is there. The X back on the Timber Saw. He's trying to chain himself away. The Yule Scepter will dodge the X pullback. Looks like TNC will not commit too hard for any kind of a kill there, as they do have some split bottom. Ward. Charging in. Can he get some extra gold out of this one? Beat close. He's got it. Plus 300 gold.
100. Look at HP on
goal.
Kanka. He's level 20, extra 25 strength, sitting on 3.5k HP. We're gonna round it up, almost 4,000.
And with all this armor now, he's got an AC completed.
Step lively now.
33 armor.
Your admiral is on board.
Incredibly tanky. You mentioned you like the double braces on Timber. It's Kanka going for the same build as well.
It's kind of a standard build in that Seems like a lot of these all shut up, go bots. Never mind, that's only a replicate.
It's still gold. It's 300 gold. That's basically a hero kill. That adds up, and they're going to fight this bit like the arrow is going to be dodged by the range. T1 tower being focused here by the lifesteal. They're going to leave 2 together. The Ember there is going to get infested with the lifestealer inside. Can he run his way out? This one, no, he's being pulled up in the air, and lifestealer just breaks. This is disaster for Keen Gaming. Oh, they've lost Ember, who's going to instantly buy back, but this fight's already over and lost. The Ember needs to be careful not to die again. He rounds away. Piranha's going leaping on forward. Another leap is there.
It's gonna hit. There's no follow-up though.
I think Miranda was like, where are we guys? If we go get this one? Arrow's still on them. As position a bit. That's a dead lifesteal and Ember ball back, so TNC. very strong commanding position now.
Killed 2 cores, didn't lose anything. TNC is just building the advantage at the moment.
They are continuing to kill these Arc Warden Tempest doubles, but it's gold, but it's not really.
It's not real gold.
Well, it's real gold, but it's not really like any kind of
It's
an
not
advantage.
24 karat.
Yeah. People are okay and happy with their knockoff stuff.
Jax thinks
Arc
Radiant's
Warden, it's like giving away that 300 gold, but it's getting you
He's wrong.
300 gold every time you send it to another lane, and it's pressuring lane. So strategically, yeah, you're giving up gold, but you're
Radiant's
keeping
bottom
every
tower
lane
is
shut
under
out, and that's helping your team find good.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And I love the pickup on it. Decided to go for Shadow Blade. Like you have
Jax thinks
Invis, you
Radiant's
have
bottom
Mirana's
tower is about to fall.
ulti, so they need to invest a
He's
lot of
wrong.
gold into centers. Centers are limited. You only have 10 of them.
Also means that Tempest double maybe soon be feeding a little bit less.
Yeah, so both of the supports will need to invest a lot of resources into buying sentries and dusts.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Radiant scan. This feels like it's go time.
Jax
Quite
thinks
got the
Radiant's
AC
bottom
on
tower is
lifesteal.
about to
He's
fall.
close to it though. Couple hundred gold. They want to fight over these bounty roots up top. Timbersaw, but he's king of the bounty room. The first back runs in as well. It's going to be Brawl coming out. He needs to be careful. Hit by the ice blast. Getting Lopez. Also Timbersaw. But the torrent timing, that jumps just torrent. They'll trade Bristleback for the Conquer, so a bit of an even trade so far. And with the internet linked out, nicely played by the Lifestealer. Instead it looks like Conquer's going to find the AA instead. Easy Starstorm follow-up and Conquer. Another kill. Hormel is just beasting it here.
Under X,
Didn't hit the torrent or the arrow. Not sure where that arrow went. Lifesteal's going to go charging forward. He's going to rage. Be out. What did he do? Didn't have any detection or a way of
Radiant's
going on the
bottom tower is under
Grimstroke
attack.
Glimmer Cape.
and on the bottom lane you have this Arc Warden,
Okay,
Tempest double, dealing some damage to tier 3 tower. They need to address that problem.
Jax thinks Radiant's
Also,
bottom tower is
I don't
about to
feel like
fall.
there's real item
Seems
progression on
wrong.
Timbersaw. Like this Lotus Orb is not doing much. If you wanted to get a second Dispel, I think Guardian Greaves would have been better. Just tank up your
Radiant's top
team,
tower is under
and
attack.
there's not good spells to echo back, right?
Okay, is there any benefit to being able to use on your team? I guess like Lifesteal has Rage and Ember and Remnant, so maybe not so much. Here you go. Well, Ormel's Kunkka 10-0-9. Put him on their
Step
fantasy
lively
team
now.
now.
Your
Rejoicing.
admiral is on board.
Did you do some fantasy Dota, Lacoste?
Nah, I'm not into that stuff. I'm into like this is me.
He's gonna Remnant away afterwards. Mind game, you know. Try and Remnant away too soon, too late. Do you go for that Torrent as a Kunkka, or is he gonna dodge it? AC completed on Lifestealer. He's got the boot up, and he is going to be hitting that level 20 talent. You got to imagine the evasion kicking in.
Oh, evasion. Against Skunka, Mirana, even Bristol, Arc Warden as well. And Arc Warden going for solo pickup.
Do you like this? Oh, it's the Orchid into the Nullifier. The Doom build. Orchid, someone you nullify them. They can't use their items. They can't use spells. What do you do?
Was that a question? Like you just die?
What do you? There's one solution.
There is one solution. That's Lotus Orb.
Oh. Well, you can't use it if you nullify. It's your teammate. Your teammate.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh yeah. The other
Radiant's
solution.
bottom tower is under
The one,
attack.
if you want worry about getting solo kill, is the Aeon disc. You can actually get out of the nullifier, maybe.
But you can also nullify the Eon.
Correct.
Like if you proc it with the, say, from Shadowblade hit,
Oh, you
Eon Disc procs, and then you just remove it.
and then
you
you
nullify
nullify.
Dire don't look too scared of Radiant's top tower.
Goes charging on in. He's going to be instantly forced the BKB. There was a Lifestealer infested who's going to cause some problems here. And Bristleback trying to take this tower here. I think TNC is starting to get out. Nice arrow from afar. Catch the Timbersaw. He's going to go charging. I think TNC needs to pull out of this one. They don't have the Arc One with them. The Ice Blast going to go behind as well. Catch the Bristol Marana. As Leaf Charger still needs to maybe get to the high ground here. Another Starstorm leads with so much kiting going on here. Bristleback's going to go charge you on in with the BKB. He's won this AA, who's going to be forced to his TC on out. His BKB wearing off. He's in trouble once this expires. Another arrow goes flying. Catch the Timbersaw, but I don't think they've got the damage for this one. It's got a hard harass here. Getting it low. It's going to be Tins and set on the Marana. Goes down. Too aggressive coming in from him. The stolen arrow is flying back at TNC.
But the bottom lane, Parker.
Yeah, I was wondering what was happening. Where this Arc Warden is, there's your answer. Rain tracks down.
Radiant's bottom barracks exposed.
And now they're saying go. They want to take a fight because they have vision of a Lifestealer who just TP'd back to the bottom lane to defend. But these teams are extremely tanky. Timbersaw has a heart right now, 4,000 HP. Kanka pretty much the same. So, and you have a Bristle on your team as well. So we're not going to see any straight up kills. No one's going to die straight away.
I mean, we see that fight lasted for so long with basically nobody dying. It wasn't until the Marana overcommitted that she pays the price because she thought she could kill this Timber. I don't blame her, but that's a 4k HP Timber with a lot of magic
bottom
resist.
shrine is under attack.
Looked like Cuckoo was going for some up top. Doesn't quite get him. An arrow follow-up, the stolen arrow. The boat's going to help with some damage mitigation. I know they're going to change target. They're going to go find the Rooster instead. Get out the Soulbind in.
Keen Gaming, 15,000 network lead deficit for them, but they are in the driver's seat at the moment, feels like. I mean, but they're still not a real... We didn't see a real team fight with Arc Ward.
It's kind of like a 5v4. It's ever so slight. I think also might be coming into this fight here, but then Corsi can he get himself out of this one? He doesn't manage to do so. Has buyback he wants to use it because he double buyback coming into play. Bristleback turns, pops the BKB with help of the force out of the way. And now maybe it's time for Keen Gaming to get the hell out of this one. The Timbersaw has a package inside his life, so I think he's just trying to get him the hell out of this one. For a couple of seconds, doesn't have mana as well with the one charge. It should be able to turn and fight this one as Kanka gets back and Kanka's in all sorts of trouble. Pops the BKB, goes for the TP. Where's the back? Where's the dash? Keen Gaming get a second kill, down 15k gold. It's now just 10k gold with those buybacks, and they're charging forward.
Going to let that middle tower fall?
That AC is doing God's work. Minus armor for the enemy team and extra armor for them. Also Timbersaw with this heart. Man, he's so tanky. They're trying to focus him as the first target. I don't think that's the go-to plan.
He got 925 gold from killing Kanka, who was on a beyond godlike streak. And now onto the high ground we go. There is buybacks, but you really want to use a couple more. They may have to here. Gabby doing what he can. Double and Lifestealer just gets deleted. Okay. Down he goes. Then Bristle's chasing for more. Once his Rubik should be able to get him one more right click. Okay, arrow not going to be needed. Bristleback gets it, and
they need to run straight into Roche Pit. Oh, they couldn't get this one. Get the Aegis. I mean, Bristleback just bought back. Arc Warden does not have... Okay, he does not have enough money for a buyback, and Keen Gaming, they realize they need to contest the Roche, so buybacks are coming.
They are holding on to Lifestealers, which... definitely not a buyback you want to use, but if it comes down to contesting Roche or not, you may have to. Nice thing about these 10-second arrow cooldown is you can just constantly throw them out. Nice lit. It's going to save AA's life there, I want to say. Throw those arrows out to just get yourself vision into Scout. The Roshan pit they go nonetheless. With Lifestealer not buying back, they feel like they can go for this one. Mirana's going to be arrogant as well.
Roshan's going to go down so quickly. And Medallion AA still has ulti.
Scouted out. Are they going to go for some kind of a steal here? What's the play? They don't want to buy back the Lifestealer. Still 18 seconds without him, and Roshan looks like he's just going to go down. And Rubik blinks in, doesn't time it right. The Aegis is picked up by Dr. Stone. That's the Bristleback of Cuckoo, and Rubik. Costly play. He did not have buyback as well. Going for that without buyback.
It's a risky play, but I think it's worth it. If he gets it there, because Bristleback already used the buyback, it's a lot of BB using the BB. Do people get triggered if you call Bristleback a BB?
It's okay being referred to as a BB.
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
Well, that's one of his many pronouns. BB. Your bristle. I mean, it was brilliance from Keen Gaming there in the mid game, but haven't quite managed to pull ahead of it. Instead, it's TNC who kind of restabilized, getting Aegis.
Dire don't look
Are playing
too
without a couple of their
Radiant's
buybacks, so
top
you need
tower.
to be a little bit careful here.
Can he do it?
Can who do it?
Radiant's
Can he
top
kill the
tower is
tower?
under attack.
Through the backdoor protection.
No, you can't answer your question, but he can kill it. It is
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
We'll see some 25s coming out soon. That's kind of the next thing I'm looking at. Arc 1 hits his,
Radiant are
and oh
scanning
yeah,
for enemies.
everyone's favorite spark rate damage. Always a big scary one.
AoE, I mean, it's not AoE, but it's you place a finger of that basically.
I don't know if he had it that last time when they deleted the life steal, or if that was just the right. It looked more like the right clicks with the soulbind from Grimstroke silencing people up to. Mirana's 25, also scary one, the more arrows you typically imagine, but I mean both are really good.
Both are extremely good, but I would go for multi-shot arrows there. Talent, arrow cooldown, 10-second, 3 arrows. It also gives vision. That's the big part of it.
Those arrows will eventually hit. There's 3 of them flying around. You can't dodge them all the time. This arrow, when you see it coming, is one of those spells that's pretty
Step
easy to
lively now.
sidestep.
Your admiral is on
Inevitably
board.
going to hit something.
I love what TNC is doing. They don't have too many single targeted spells to combine with Soulbind, so they are building items. You have this Arc Warden with the Orchid Nullifier.
The ways to
Spirit
make up
Vessel.
for it. TNC, despite having to
Step
say, just
lively
kind
now.
of just
Your
playing it
admiral is
slow and
on
chilled
board.
though.
Swifter than ever.
Double damage bottle off for Kunkka as well as dataless. So crits can start doing some work in these fights as well. Like they are just a bit of slow down this pace. Instead of the BKB, Mirana ended up going for Lotus Orbs. Have a bit of extra dispel and
Look at
save.
Dire's bottom
Great
tower
against
next.
Lifestealer, removing the chains from Ember Spirit. Also has a Force Staff, as we talked about. It's a really good item. Just kiting potential to what Mirana has right now.
Look
Is
at Dire's bottom tower.
Hall of Fire.
It was mid-air. It's flying across the map. He was close to catching him there. Still gonna hit him.
I think it's gone.
It was still flying in the air, but yeah, maybe he disjoints it.
Allies disappear.
Fire is just alternative reality right now.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
So Timbersong needs 1 CS to get himself to level 25. I assume he's gonna go for Verling that, since he's playing against the 2 strength heroes, but the Super Chain is
Brigantine.
also good against the Arc Warden to close the gap. You just get on top of him. He decides to go for level 25, there it is.
Has fallen.
Healed up yet? There we go. Whirling Death Attribute and Ghost Ship Fleet. Go.
Dire
Multi-ships.
structures are fortified.
Gunning for this Timbersaw. Catch him again.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
%28 stats loss against Bristol and Kunkka. They're not just stealing the stats, they're also stealing their magic resisting off of it.
Perfect.
You know what's
Found that.
cooking?
Nullifier cancels TPs once. Yes, yeah. That's just twice in a row he's TP'd out as the Nullifier was midair. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm not going crazy. That Timbersaw is really pushing the limit. I'm sure he's just like, both those times where he TP's out just barely. Thanking his lucky stars. Who else is Lifestealer, Ember, Mirana. 25's coming up. Lifestealer, what? Rage duration, you got to imagine. Ember. Sleight of fist charges or?
I think he's gonna go for the left, Alan.
Okay.
Sleight of fist seems way better when you're playing EL illusion.
Stand lively now. Your admiral is on board.
The Aegis expires without too much high ground attempt, and it's very much a case of TNC may have had Aegis, but their buybacks were down. Their lineup doesn't exactly push high ground easily, whereas Radiance defends high ground incredibly well.
Now you have Rubik, Timbersaw, Slide.
This time around, Orc was there waiting. Travis lane, and gets pummeled.
You might be tanky, but against 2 Arc Wardens and the whole enemy team, Bloodthorn, Nullifier,
Yeah, the crit. And they finally catch him out there. First with the Ice Blast here, let's go to the BKB and say he's gonna get full stuff away. Now, trying to get some extra damage on this tower with the Ghost Ship fleet, and it's gonna be a stolen torrent. The spell he was hoping for. Bit of damage dealt to the tower there, but significant by any means. Timber dead. It looks like Keen Gaming have no issues defending high ground without Bristle.
Yeah, I feel like TNC does not want to fully commit. New Roche may respawn in a minute. Wait for that, because our can pressure the side lanes, give them the info where the enemy heroes are, and Roche just dies so quickly with the Bloodthorn.
Rubik, no. Has Ghost Scepter. Didn't have detection. Yeah, right about to die, I want to say. Nullifier there as well. Rubik did not have a escape for that. Back at top, there we go. Triple arrow. They're swinging around.
I like this gem pickup, because they have a lot of invis, and the sentries are now limited. They're not going to be able to see them.
All the sentries on the map, and also take out all the radiant vision as well. Ideally, they've got a lot of vision down in this bottom jungle, but TNC,
they're not playing the bottom part of them. The only one who's at the bottom is Arc Ward Tempest up.
Backdoor protection. There is no backdoor protection. Creeps one in mid, so he's doing permanent damage. And yeah, permanent damage to Rubik's life. So I say permanent damage, it does have that health regen. 700 damage dealt. Not instantly healed by the backdoor protection, but will be healed over time. Just gonna keep sending some doubles in down that bottom lane. That's gonna be the play. Has a blink dagger now instead of the shadow arrow.
It connects on Ember.
It looks like they want to go for the building damage. They're playing it safe. It's gonna be high. Nullify. He puts the link in. Trying to get those right clicks in. Doesn't quite have the damage. He will lose his Tempest double. Still, permanent damage dealt to this tier 3 tower.
Level 25 Mirana. What a zoning. They can keep doing this. If the lanes are pushed in, she uses the arrow for the vision. They need to reposition themselves, and they just deal the damage to the tower.
Slow and steady.
We have 3 hearts in this game.
Everyone likes being tanky, I guess.
Double
that hex speed up, I mean, talk about getting items, the combo with the Grimstroke, that's one of the, that is the best.
Grimstroke also has one queued up.
And over here,
TNC's lineup is scaling in all roles, and once again,
bottom lane pushed in.
Doesn't look like Arc Warden.
Dire don't
So
look
it is
too
doubled in,
scared.
where it has
Radiant's
another
top
one if he
tower.
wants to send it down there. It is a melee racks, and I think right now King Gaming very focused on Roshan, so this bottom melee racks.
That's a lot of spark rates in the Roche pit.
Oh yeah.
We've seen that before when
Yeah.
Miracle played it, but he had Arcane Rune, right?
Yes. Quite the same outcome. Goes in looking again. The lift is there. Save the Ember's life. Double. So obnoxious to play into. You get gold for him at least, but I don't know, it doesn't feel good to get 300 gold at this stage of the game.
Regeneration.
Because you're just constantly on the back foot. It's not about the goal here, it's just about where you're forced to play in the map, and as a result, TNC, this is a promotion.
Banshees and Aegis.
Roshan has
Arc
fallen to the
Warden
dive.
is running out of slots. I mean, he can still
Step
buy
lively
Moon
now.
Shard,
Your Admiral is
Aghanim
on
Scepter.
Yeah. She looks pretty good. No, it's not.
If you get double damage or if you get arcane,
Yeah.
on certain heroes can be extremely good as well.
Shabby, but you're not going to buy an Axe. And they're just going in. They're looking to hit some buildings here. They're zoning with the arrows as well as the Go Chip. It's literally just zone Keen Gaming away by throwing these spells, hitting arrows. We're going to hit these arrows. Really looking to commit on this one. I think they know it's much more important to take the objective than they are taking the rank here. But it needs to be careful. It's got the help being alive. The bash on the bristleback, but they don't really want to leave their base here. And it's a tier 3 tower plus range racks. And it looks like Arc One is sending himself or his double down bottom here. He's sending his double in to go for the backdoor play down bottom. So while all this distraction happens up
Radiant
top,
Bottom barracks are about to
it does
fall.
look like bottom melee racks. Can they kill it off? He's got BKB now. I love this pickup just to make sure they can take some of these objectives. It's going to be close. I think they've got the damage for it. It's going to be right enough. And
Another one's going down.
yep. Dead by 1,000 cuts. TNC don't care about taking the kills. They'll take them if they can to them, but Team Gaming's so annoyed with their high ground defense, and TNC are just finding ways to bit by bit break their base.
Another arrow on Ember Spirit.
They're so disciplined. Like, they hit these arrows, but they're never following it up and committing for kills.
They can just play this slowly. They don't have to risk anything at this point. You can always go in. There's no burst damage inside of Team Gaming. There's not enough stuns to keep in place, so they can go in. BKBs are down to 6 and 5 seconds. Bristleback and Kanka can just go in, hit the tower, Arc Warden as well, repeat every single tower up.
Also has an Octarine core. Ag 70 feet up as well, so there will be more damage coming out, but it still feels like there's going to be constant problems not having quite enough damage and also just not being able to deal with every single lane being pushed in. I guess the good news is once you're down to your tier 4s, they can't split push you anymore. You just stand at your tier 4s. There's a relic destroyed. Is that a rapier? Oh no, it's a nullifier. I had queued it up.
Well, at least you know from which side they're gonna enter. It's gonna be mid, so you can prepare for defending the mid lane.
Well, you say that. Watch some like spark rates. I mean, Tempest doubles go in bottom or top for the tier 4 towers.
They have a sentry.
Coming, but at this point, Arc Warden just seems keen on using this BKB to take objectives. Plan or not. Arrows from Torrent, they are just looking to force these towers in. Arrows continue to go flying out here, and it's going to be Piranha leaping on forward. Didn't quite have the damage to kill for Rubik, who did get kept alive the group stroke at the Glimmer Cave. And the arrows just continue to go flying, and it's going to be tier 3 tower flanking. It's still getting so incredibly low. The Everbolt's the buyback here. This will land on 2, but the damage just isn't really there. They're cut with these 4 stars, and there's just nothing King Gaming can do. They just keep these heroes in place. They're falling 1 by 1, forcing another buyback. 3 buybacks used already. TNC may just say, let's just you know, re-engage, reset a little bit, but they're being chased after here. King Gaming feel now it's now or never here. The arrows go flying out, forcing them to kind of disperse. It's so hard to chase when the arrows are just flying at you. Warden will throw one last Tempest double. This one maybe just a feet away. Some gold. The arrows again going flying. Doesn't latch on anyone. The leech though is there. Soul biting 2 together. Piranha's got leaping in. The double stop doesn't quite kill the Rubik here. Life still leading. We'll get the rage away. And with Rubik dead for 100 buyback on Rubik. Not looking good. Tempest soul back in. He's got good buyback as well. This is looking like the Ember King Gaming a clean from the Kunka. Slices through the life steal is live, and it's GG. 53 minutes. King Gaming, they fought hard and long. They were so resilient, but it's TNC. Mark Warden, a lot of patience from TNC.
Arc Warden did not have a good time early on, but the other 4 played so well, created the space for Arc Warden to come back into the game, and the itemization was perfect on their side. Even though I'm not a big fan of Grimstroke, and when you don't have any single target abilities,